Listen, if I live here, I don't know. It might be good. It might be good.
You a fat face our lie. Boy. What do we have here?
I was looking for that damn.
Let's get it. How you feeling? How you feeling?
Feeling good, my guy.
You know. We gonna pull up. Get a little. That's enough. Yeah, that's enough. How much you want? You want me to pull yours?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be heavy-handed with your ass. Toast to a good time, to some good information, and we in here. All right.
Pretty smooth, bro.
So where do we start, man? We've known each other for quite some time, you know. Damian is a good brother, man. You know, he always got my back. You know what I'm saying? We always chop it up about content, moving forward in life, anything, you know. That's the type of brother this man is. So I'm always delighted to be in his presence and, you know, showcase his abilities to the world. You know what I'm saying?
We appreciate you.
So we just gonna chop it up, dog. You know what I'm saying? Don't even worry about the camera. The camera ain't even on. The lights ain't on. The camera ain't even on. We just drinking, having a good time. What's the story of our inception?
So we met at USC, but before we met, you know, I feel like we always kind of passed each other on campus and stuff like that.
Right.
Then once I pledged, you know, we both, you know, both Sigmas or whatever. So once I pledged Phi Beta Sigma, I feel like we, you know, started getting closer. But I'll say back in 2016, 2017, that's when pretty much, you know, I hit you up, kind of told you what I did, talked about motivational speaking. And I mean, pretty much, crazy thing is, bro, I told you I was motivational speaking. You never heard me speak. Joker took a chance on me, man.
I sure ain't never heard this man speak a day in my life. He told me he was a motivational speaker. I said, you my brother. How can I help?
Joker took a chance on me, man. We met up. What was the place? Riverwalk?
Yeah, Riverwalk. Shot a couple scenes, shots.
Met up in Riverwalk, Columbia, South Carolina. Shot some scenes, man. And that was my first YouTube video I dropped, bro. Yeah. So, I mean, shout out to you. Appreciate you. You know, I'm gonna give my boy his flowers, man. But that's pretty much how we met, man. The crazy thing after that, I mean, we're going to get into it. But the crazy thing after that, I feel like we both, after we met, later on that year, I feel like we both, you know, was in kind of a relationship at the time, went through some challenges. And then from there, we just started getting closer, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy because I was married. He was in a long-term relationship. I was married. He was going through similar things in his relationship that I was going through. And we kind of like, you was done with yours around the same time I was doing mine, but my ass was married. So y'all seen the video.
Hey, y'all see my video. and if you haven't, go check our videos out.
But yeah, so we kind of bonded over that because honestly, during that time of that divorce, he was the first person I talked to and told about, honestly. You know what I'm saying? He was a listening ear and, you know, ain't knew too much about my relationship. I told him what was going on, and then from there, that's kind of like how we really started bonding. Bad that we bonded over some trauma, but hey, that's how it started. So ever since then, we've been locking and loading, dog. We done been in the Charlotte streets. We done been in the Columbia streets. We done been in the Atlanta. ATL streets, which we gonna get into a little later.
ATL streets got a time. They got a time.
The ATL streets ate this man alive.
Listen, boy, we got a story for days.
Why you think he don't live here?
Listen, if I live here, I don't know. It might be good. It might be good.
You a fat face our lie.
Listen, nah. We'll pick up on that.
I'm gonna drink to that one.
Listen, it'll be good now, man. You know, I have my challenges.
From what I've seen, ATL and this man, yeah, he done turned over a new leaf in his life, so it would be great. It would be great. I've
turned over a new leaf. You know, I'm a new me. I'm not the old me no more. You know, we was a different breed out here, man. We was a different breed out here, but you know, thank God for growth. Amen.
One thing I want to tap on with you is like the importance of friendship and brotherhood and making connections and building relationships. Because I've always known you, like I said, this guy crossed my chapter after me.
Yeah.
Like he said, we've seen each other in passing, but he reached out to me and was like, yo, I know you my profile, yada, yada, yada. And I really appreciate that because it takes a level of courage to reach out to somebody, not exactly for help, but just trying to make a connection, understand what you have going on and talk and things like that. You never know what type of bond you can build, which is how we end up being so close because of that initial, connection and you reaching out. So like, what do you feel like is the importance of like building relationships and reaching out to people just because of it? Because of it.
When I look back, I ain't knew nothing about you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when I reached out to you, for me, I always saw you on campus. I saw you was about something good and stuff like that. So when I reached out, I feel like we started, kind of building a bond and stuff like that. But later on, again, like you said, we bonded off of, unfortunately trauma. But that trauma led us into, like a real brotherhood. If you're trying to question your friendship with people, man, look for people who's gonna be real with you. I think that's the biggest thing. And so when it came down to me being in relationships, the joke was always real. Did I always want to hear it? I did.
Blunt truth.
I did a video, like I said, I dropped it last year. And in that particular video, I said a line, and that line was actually from him. The line was, at the time I was in a relationship, and when I was in that relationship, this joker said, you saw the red flags, but you chose to pretty much run off, turn those red flags into green flags, and that's what I did. And I'll be honest with you. Did I want to hear it? I didn't. But it was the God honest truth. So the biggest thing I tell everybody, man, find somebody who's gonna be real with you. If you got people in your life that's yes people, man, them some of the worst people to have. And the reason why is because if all you got is yes people, they're gonna tell you, man, they're pretty much gonna tell you everything you're doing right, even if it's wrong. So, just look for some real people in your life that got the best values, that got things that they trying to help you elevate life. And I mean, I feel like that's pretty much what you have, helped done.
Yeah, and I would say the thing about me is I'm the type of friend where I'm gonna keep it real, honest, and truthful with you at all times, even if it hurt. I done said some hurtful things to Damain, man, and I hope he can take it. But you got to take it knowing that it's coming out of love.
Exactly.
And it's not hurtful as like demeaning his character, calling him out his name. But I know that he is passionate about every relationship, every person he touched. And for somebody to come in and be like, something, what you doing, I don't think it's, that could take a toll on somebody. So I do appreciate you for being receptive and listening, because not everybody can take the blunt, honest truth. And that's why some people just continue to tell their friends what they want to hear, because they're so focused on keeping that relationship light and lighthearted to where they're not caring about the growth of the actual person. People that really care about your growth and you become the best person you can possibly be are the people that's going to keep it real and keep it blunt with you, because they're not trying to safeguard this happy-go-lucky feeling in your friendship. They want to sacrifice that in order to move you forward if it's something that you need to hear. And I'm always be that person to all my friends, people that I know, whatever the case may be.
Man, that guy just dropped a whole line, bro. Did y'all hear him, man? Listen, go hit that rewind real quick, man. Go hit that rewind real quick. I ain't got nothing left in here, but we're going to have to pull up.
Well, you ain't got nothing left, nigga. There you go. We both have been through some trial and tribulations.
Yes, sir.
When it comes to talking to women, relationships, girls. So, like I said, everybody got a past, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to keep it real with y'all. After my divorce, I moved to Atlanta. Well, I was in Charlotte for a couple of months, sleeping on my sister's couch. Then I moved to Atlanta, slept on an air mattress in my cousin's spare bedroom. And then after that, I moved into an apartment. And then I ain't gonna lie, I was in them Atlanta streets when I moved into that apartment, boy. If you knew me back then, man.
Listen.
I was having a good time. I was like, shoot, this is my time to really be free, be open, get to know other people, women, whatever the case may be. So I had my nice little run. When was that? 2018? I would say 2018. We gonna talk about the COVID years in a second, but we had our trials and tribulations with women, man. And I'm gonna say, Damian.
Since he want to go ahead and push this thing on me,
ain't gotta pick him, you gotta choose him.
Unfortunately for me, I've been choosing them wrong for a long time, but that's what we're gonna take our time now with this dating. Just like you said, man, I had my time, and again, I'm thankful for growth for sure. But now, when that relationship ended, I remember the same thing just like you. Me and my ex at the time, we were staying together. And then once we were staying together, the relationship ended. I moved in with my brother. I was finishing up my senior year of college. Moved in with him for, I think, about 4 months or something, man. You know, luckily I had to sleep on the couch. You know, I had a bed to sleep in.
You lucky, man.
But, you know, pretty much, but pretty much, man, I was sleeping, you know, at my brother's spot for about 4 months. So again, that was a transition and everything. Fast forward to that, got my first apartment in Columbia, South Carolina, man. And the crazy thing is, when I first moved in, bro, all I had was enough money for rent and a security deposit. That's it. Same. I had no furniture.
Either.
I had no bed. I had no pots and pans. I had nothing. But I was happy to like move into my own spot, because when you get out of, I won't even say a toxic relationship, I ain't gonna call everything toxic,
right,
you know?
Right.
But when you get out of a relationship that ain't for you, and then you kind of get your own space for the first time, like, bro, I was just happy to have my own spot.
Exactly.
So like I slept on the floor the first 3 months, just a blanket. I ain't had no TV stand. I had a TV. I had 2 TVs, but they both was on the floor. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I ain't had no internet either, man. I couldn't afford the internet at the time. I'll be real with y'all, man.
Yep.
I turned my hotspot on every single day. Luckily, I had a work phone, so I ran the hotspot up. But I ain't had nothing, bro. So for me, a lot of times, I think people look at me and you, and they think, you know, we got X, Y, Z.
Right.
But they don't, nobody want to, you know, sometimes hear that story about what our humble beginnings look like, man.
And it definitely was humble beginnings.
You know, we're going to fast forward from, you know, that humble beginning side of me. But now, when, you know, just like my guy right here, when he was in the streets, for my close friends that know me, I was out there in the streets, you know, them Columbia streets.
That man had a revolving door in his apartment.
I did.
One in, one out. One in, one out.
I did. You know, I ain't gonna lie to you. But it was a fun experience. I had a whole lot of fun.
And it helped shape you into who you are today.
It did.
And I think those experiences, as a man, I feel like you have to have some of those experiences to really understand like what you want out of a woman.
Exactly.
It wasn't just to have fun in the streets and be talking to all these women. It wasn't about that. It's about truly finding like what you value in a woman and what you value in, you know, being long-term with a woman, what your standards are, figuring those out. You know, if I didn't converse with the women that I converse with and connected with, I wouldn't be probably with the woman that I'm with now, because I wouldn't appreciate what she had to offer. It was me being out there knowing like, you know, some women act like that, or, you know, dang, I was talking to her and she flipped sides, like, oh, exactly. I thought she was like this. And it takes you going through these experiences and knowing like when you find something real, like, oh, this ain't like what I used to, you know, tap into. This might be something that's worth, you know, checking out. So for all the guys out there, I don't want you to think that you have to have what they call a hoe phase or, you know, a street phase. But you have to, you know, consider having a phase where you've been in a space to converse and talk to multiple women to truly understand what it's like to be around different personalities, adapt to different personalities, because you learn a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Learn a lot about yourself. We had our fun, you know. We both sent each other a green check mark. We sent each other a green check mark. You know what a green check mark meant. It was a good time, bro. A time to be, listen.
Damn, you right. Damn, yeah.
Reminiscing, bro. Reminiscing, but grow. But nah, the biggest thing I'll say at that time, it really showed me, to be real with you, it showed me what I needed in a woman, and then it showed me what I was missing in myself.
Woo!
We got to run that back, bro.
Woo! Woo!
Come on, bro. This man about to walk around the whole house after that one, bro.
You right, boy.
Like, when I say that, man, it literally showed me what I didn't have in myself. You know, I didn't have real self-love, man. You know, and I think a lot of times, not just men, but a lot of times when men, when women, when they don't have real self-love, they go out here, they go out either in the streets, they go out here and they do something that may be outside of their character. And for me in that time period, you know, again, like we call it a whole phase, we call it fun, we call it whatever, but that stuff wasn't in my character, bro.
Yeah. It's a discovery, man.
Exactly.
It's a discovery.
And so like during that time, like I said, it was a good learning experience and stuff like that. It was a lot of growth. But one of the things I realized was when I was talking to all those different girls, the biggest thing I realized was I was trying to go after something that I didn't have since I was a kid. So when I lost my mom at 9 years old, and a lot of videos always talk about that. But I didn't realize until I was having a conversation last year with with one of my homeboys, and he brought up a point, and when we was talking to my girls, and he said, man, the biggest thing I'm looking for in a woman is not only good looks and stuff like that, but does she have the traits of my mom? And when he said that, it stuck to me, because when he said that, I was like, man, you know what? That was the reason why I went after all these women. It wasn't because not just a whole phase to have fun, but I was chasing the nurturing love that I never got from my mom. Or never from my mom, that I did get from my mom after she passed away.
Right.
So during that COVID year, like I said, I had fun. We talked about it. We chopped it up. But honestly, I was chasing a temporary fulfillment that I couldn't get from none of the women.
That's facts.
And and it takes a real man to realize that. Like I said, I had my fun. But I think for men, for women, when you learn what you need to learn, then you'll be able to elevate your life to the next level. So now, I view communicating to women a little bit differently. Now I view sex a little differently. Because even when it came down to sex during that time period, we talked about it.
Right.
When it came down to sex during that time period, be real. I mean, this is a cutthroat video. It was a game. It was an easy game to play for me. And so once
it was also a game to feel fulfilled.
Exactly. And I mean, in that moment, bro, everything was a temporary fulfillment. It felt good in the moment. And once that moment was up, lid on the candle, and it was done. So when all you have is temporary fulfillments from another person, I hate to put it this way, but it's not the other person, it's you. And you got to take a deep look in yourself and be like, you know what, man? Like, what is it about me that I need to fix within myself to get to the next level?
Boy. And I'm going to say mine is similar to you. So for me, I was out in the streets because, if y'all seen my divorce video, if you haven't, go and watch it. I was in the streets because that situation made me feel less than a man. It made me feel like I lost game. It made me feel like I was like a loser and a chump.
My man was like, hold on, wait a minute.
I got to get my groove back. You know what I'm saying? So I was out here chasing like the fulfillment of feeling like I'm that dude again. So for me, it was like I was talking to these women, and a lot of these women was coming to me. I wasn't doing nothing.
That's game, bro. I'm trying to get like him.
I wasn't doing, like, I wasn't out here like talking to every woman. These women came to me. So then I started to get this feeling of like, you know something? The past is the past. This new Corey, it took me going through that experience to really figure out like, why was I doing that? You know what I'm saying? Why did I feel so fulfilled whenever these women was coming up to me, liking my haircut, liking the way I smell at the club, touching on me? Then I was like, I like this.
He was like, I need to get a little bit more of this.
Right, I need to get a little more of this. Because of what happened in my divorce, how it made me feel. But it took me understanding that to then get out of that phase too. Because I had to have a self-reflection moment of being like, Corey, why are you liking this attention? Why are you liking this? And it wasn't because I really wanted to do it.
Exactly.
Like you said, that wasn't really my character. I was looking for something to fulfill how I felt. And then once that got fulfilled, I got to a point of like, okay, now I need to change course. I need to start being a little bit more serious and things like that. And I started taking dating seriously. I started taking, having sex seriously. I started, really vetting women for them to be my long-term partner. So I had a cutthroat policy. If you ain't meeting what I'm trying to put out,
gotta go.
I gotta go. We ain't lingering around. We ain't having fun. We ain't going. I'm just, because I have a purpose now. I got things going on now.
Let them know.
I got equity now.
Let them know.
I got stuff going on. I gotta be serious.
Yep.
I can't just be out here floating around in the streets like I was. Like, I really had to change my course, but it takes sometimes these experiences for you to really do a self-reflection to understand like, you gotta make changes, man. That's why I am where I am now, because I was able to grow from those experiences.
She went from a boy to a man.
And I wouldn't say I was a savage now. I ain't did no women dirty now. I was always truthful with the women.
That's true. I mean, I feel like I ain't let nobody on either, but I think the problem with me was during that phase, unfortunately, I don't know, it might have been giving off the boyfriend tendency.
Yeah.
And that texting every
See,
day.
you was doing boyfriend teams, but you wasn't trying to be in a late. Me, I wasn't giving off no boyfriend teams.
Man, I was out here cooking full meal.
I wasn't out here cooking no full meal. The most a woman would have got out of me was potentially a breakfast. And that's if I felt good the night before. But yeah, it was just a good time, man. And I'm glad we was able to grow from those times and really become the men that we are today. And like my boy here is a catch. He's single right now, but he's a catch, man. And it took that growth. It took like learning himself. It took learning myself to get where I am. And it took like really reflecting on the past and where we are now to then progress to then get to, you know, better areas of our life with potential partners. But we ain't the only men out here that done went through this. We know some of y'all probably going through this, have been through this before you with your wife, before you with your girlfriend now. Like, you know, it happens. But it takes being real about the actual situation, not sugarcoating it, not brushing it under the rug. You really got to talk to your fellas about this stuff. You really got to have people that you can connect with to be like, because me and Damon, we'll chop it up.
About an hour, a couple hours a week pretty much.
Yeah, we'll chop it up. We'll put everything on the table.
When it comes down to like a lot of conversation, a lot of things that you see on social media, every time you hop on TikTok, what you see? A video when it comes down to either men going against women and everybody talking about dating and what you need to do, what you don't need to do, X, Y, Z. But to be real with you, a lot of people need to have more conversations like this. A lot more real conversation with people chopping it up. They talking about, man, I went through X, Y, Z. You know, what you needed to do within yourself to grow so you can be good for, you know, your current girl, right now. Like, I mean, that's the same with me. Like, I can talk about, you know, these relationships that I've been in, these girls that I've dated. I can find a list of things that they didn't do right. But at the end of the day, you still need to have that self-reflection and look yourself in the mirror, because even if you can list all these things off that went wrong, you still got a card to play in that. So with having, you know, a card to play in that as to why something may have went wrong, looking yourself in the mirror and saying, man, you know what? I did X, Y, Z wrong. How do I grow so I can be better for the next person? Even if you step forward and you're getting back out there in that dating phase and you're trying to do, you know, things right, I'm not saying to compare, you know, and one of the biggest things I think we do wrong is we try to compare an ex to a current person we talking to. And if you're comparing the ex to a current person you're talking to, you ain't grow from it. So biggest things about relationships, even though, you know, you had your divorce and you can probably list off a host of things that homegirl ain't did right. I had my last 2 relationships and I can list off a host of things that ain't went right, but I'll be real with you. There's some things I did that wasn't right. You know what I'm saying?
Decision making.
There's some decision making that I did that legit wasn't right. But you got to have that self-reflection. Like you talked about earlier, you got to be able to look yourself in the mirror and be like, man, you know what? I got some growing to do. And, you know, I mean, after that relationship that ended last year, like I had, you know, when people first asked me about the relationship, and I would list off all these different things, like homegirl ain't did it, she ain't did that. But it took, you know, a couple of months after that relationship ended, and, you know, me being by myself, and when I kind of got to a point where I felt empty, I was like, man, you know, and pretty much kind of like you hit your rock bottom. Once you hit your rock bottom, you're like, man, you know what? What do I need to figure out about myself? Because I had some play in that. So what do I need to figure out about myself about why I attract the people that I attract? You know, am I doing too much? And not only am I doing too much, I did used to do too much sometimes. You know, but not only am I doing too much, but am I not paying attention to the red flags? Am I not paying attention to different things? One thing you brought up to me before, and one thing I realize now, is when it comes down to dating is just that, it's dating. Don't try to change up different things that you see about a person in the dating process. If you see things that you don't care about, that you don't like, notate it mentally in your head. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring it up to the person. I'm not saying, I ain't saying not to communicate. You know, I'm not saying to be a bad communicator, but don't bring it up to the person. Dating is just that. It's figuring out what you like. It's figuring out what you don't like. And, you know, I used to be this person. I'm not, you know, saying this for other people to go do what I do. But I used to be this person that I would date one particular person and I would be gung-ho and put all of my time invested in that one person. But when you do that and be real with you, when you place all of your time at the very start into one person, you're now nitpicking different things about this person, and then you go to them and you tell them, I like this about you, I want you to change X, Y, Z. Nobody should never change nothing in a dating phase.
Right.
Nobody should never change nothing in a relationship.
Take them for face value.
Take them for face value, because when you take a person face value, you know exactly what you're dealing with. But when you want to start changing somebody, then you're getting a counterfeit. Right. And you expect that counterfeit to turn into something real in a relationship, it ain't gonna happen.
And to piggyback off him, this is not a lack of communication, right? Again, I think when it comes to relationships, yes, you communicate things that may have changed and you want to have a conversation about them without, that's cool. But when you're dating, it's kind of like you're assessing how this person is in their natural state, in their natural environment, in their natural being around friends, their natural state at work, when they're around coworkers. You're really assessing this because you want to have the true natural person, so you can make a sound decision whether you should move forward or not. It's not up to someone to be like, oh yeah, I don't like when you do this, and then y'all dating, and then they have to change how they do it just because they want to stay talking to you. I think it's good to take a mental note, like he said, and then move forward. If it's something that, have a conversation with yourself. If it's something you can move forward with and kind of brush over, cool, keep it moving. If it's a dead stop and it's something that you cannot tolerate, you have to remove yourself from that situation, because it's not up to you to force someone to change for you. You don't have that much power in a dating phase. In a relationship, you have a little more leeway to kind of meet in the middle, communicate, figure out how to keep things going. But when you're dating, that person don't owe you jack.
They really don't. They really
don't owe you nothing.
Listen,
they could be talking to two other people, what they changing for you to like. They don't owe you nothing, man. So really take somebody for face value, and really, when you dating, really assess them for what they're giving you at that time. Assess them for the now, not for the future. You know what I'm saying? And not for the potential. Really make a decision off what you see now. Then once you make a decision like, oh, this person, I want to be with this person. Then y'all get in a relationship, you can start thinking about, okay, this person got some potential to be here, and you help push them and guide them towards that potential. Dating phase, they don't owe you nothing, man. They don't owe you nothing, man.
To his point, I'm going to add on to that.
He adding on to
My biggest thing is, go where you celebrate it, not where you tolerate it. And that line goes to me. You know, I used to hit that line all the time. You know, was it back in 21 when I was in that relationship? I used to hit that line all the time. And the crazy thing, I was the person not going where I was celebrated. I was sitting there where I was tolerated. You got to position yourself in places and environments that's going to elevate you. That's friendships.
Elevation.
That's relationships. That's work, that's life in general. If you don't feel like you celebrate it, if you feel like people are just dealing with you just to deal with you, man, go. Leave. Get up out because the worst thing you can do is allow someone to diminish your mental. Because once they diminish your mental, man, then you start thinking, man, it's me. It's me. What did I do wrong? What did what could I have done? Make sure that you always, I know we talk about a lot of stuff, but make sure you always position yourself in a place where you're only growing, where you're only elevating, where you only get to the next part, the next, season of your life. Because even though one part of your life, even though one season of your life might be a little challenging, might be a couple of hardships, a couple of low points and stuff like that, eventually the sun gonna shine. But are you gonna be ready when the sun shines? Are you gonna be ready for the opportunities when they present themselves? Are you gonna be ready for the great job, the good relationship, if you never done the work on yourself? Are you gonna be ready for the job that you want?
Spitting.
Gems, man. Or are you gonna be ready for the job that you want, that 6-figure job that you always wanted, if you never did the work on yourself? Because you can listen, my man out here shouting like he first Sunday or something. But you can get the opportunities, the love of your life. You can get everything you've ever dreamt of.
Preach.
But if you didn't do the work on yourself, it ain't gonna be long. You ain't gonna have it for long.
There you go.
But
there you go.
Nah, man.
Talk to him.
Hey, come on, man.
This man turning from Damian to Damain.
Hey, Fulmore speaks. Fulmore speaks. Follow me on the gram. I am Damian Fulmore.
You heard it.
But nah. All jokes aside, man. Biggest thing I want you guys to understand is, we can talk about our challenges all day, relationships, hardships. We got a lot. We know a lot about each other, but the biggest thing we continue to do is we continue to push each other and push the envelopes and challenge each other to make sure that we're getting the best out of ourselves. Because a lot of times we want the best out of other people, especially when you're talking to somebody in dating phase. We want the best out of them.
Facts.
We push for all of these things. I gotta have X, Y, Z. But
you want them to be who you visualize in your head sometimes.
Yep. But are you pushing yourself to the limits that you need in order to grow to get to the next level?
Man, I don't even know. I can't even follow up after that. So we just gonna change it up. Story time.
Yes,
so,
what you got?
we talked earlier about our Atlanta chronicles.
Boy, do I have a lot.
And us as men, and if y'all ladies don't know, us men gonna be men,
We're gonna have our fun.
The fellas on here, y'all can relate.
It's about libations.
So, we had this thing called duos. And a duo, if y'all don't know, is where a homeboy is talking to a girl, and then the girl got a homegirl, and then the homeboy introduced his homeboy to the friend.
Yep.
So we had a couple of duos, but unfortunately,
none of them successful for
we haven't
myself.
had any successful duos between Damian and I. They've always crashed and burned.
Yep.
Every single one of them. Why you think that is?
I mean, it might have been a success on your side, my brother. But it was a success on mine. So we're going to pick up on this one.
Man, I remember one time we had a duo set up, man. Talking to this shorty. Told us to come pull up to this spot. Boom. We there. I'm with the shorty. She got 2-3 friends right there.
Yeah.
Damian got 3 to choose from, bro.
And I ain't pulled nothing. Hold on. Cause you, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was 2 to 3 pull from, but the energy just wasn't there.
The energy wasn't there. But I could have swear in my mind, this is going to be the time to pull off a duo, man. Man, we getting through the night. I look over, Damian at a whole nother table. Hey. Damian done went and talked to some other people. I said, damn, that ain't going to work. So then, anyway, long story short, we closing that night out, right? So now I'm faced with a very difficult decision. So we leaving the place. I got something in my hand. Mm-hmm. This is awkward, but Shawty ended up getting in the car. Shawty in the front seat. Damian in the back
put
seat.
Me in the damn back seat.
Damian in the back seat. We pull up to the crib. Me and Shawty just, we just went to the room till whatever. Damian, he already was sleeping on the couch because I already had this was a 1-bedroom apartment at the time. He's sleeping on the couch. I'm in the room. I'm thinking he going to sleep. I hear the door close. I'm like, where Damian going? Hey. I went outside. Damian ain't nowhere to be found. This man done left to pull up on a play and they ain't even made it to the play.
I didn't, man. Listen, I just knew I was going to make it to that play that day. I just knew I was going to have a good time, too. Man,
about 2 a.m. in the morning.
Driving down the road, man. Pouring down raining. Ran over something in the road. I thought it only flattened my tires. So, I got out of the car, pouring down raining and stuff. I was like, man, I'm going to change this tire. Started raining even harder. I call up my roadside assistants. They came out there. They put my spare on. I'm driving down the road. Every light on my dash going on. I'm like, what the hell going on? Uh-huh. And so, I kept driving. Pulled over. Once I pulled over, man, I realized my other tire.
Blew out two.
Both my tires on the driver's side. So I call it roadside.
I don't know what that man ran over.
Listen, I must have ran over a damn bear. But man, I call myself. So I'm calling roadside assistance all night long. Fast forward, roadside ain't came to the next morning. I pretty much slept in my car all damn night. I ain't called him because I was already embarrassed. I ain't get to play. It's one. Both my tires messed up. I thought it was just my tires that blow out. Got it told to, good old Firestone. Firestone, if you're hearing this, go ahead and, hey, shoot, cut me a check or something. But listen, man, it ain't gonna cut no check. But listen, give me a free oil change. Y'all oil change right up.
We need something.
But nah, man, went out there, Firestone. I said, I just need 2 new tires. Mm-hmm. The guy look at my rims. He said, "No, you need 2 new rims and tires."
This man the bust the tires, the bent the rim. How fast you was going, bro?
I wasn't going that fast.
You was going fast.
Nah, I wasn't going that
the
fast.
bends on rims, you been going fast.
Nah, I wasn't on the interstate.
He was trying to get to that play, boy.
I was.
He was trying to get to that play.
She was talking right. You know, unfortunately, my talk just didn't talk back because I ain't made it. So, you know, I feel bad for you if you're watching this video because I ain't made it to you.
That was a time, bro.
But now that's one of the times. But yeah, man, that time cost me a lot of money on my insurance, bro.
Oh my God,
man, my insurance went up to about goddamn $800 a month.
Damn. Yeah, see,
you talking about eating ham sandwiches for a couple months after that?
Hold on. Yeah, never mind. We got a lot of wild stories, but that's one, man. And we don't want to keep y'all all, you know, night. You know, we just gonna be chatted up throughout the night. So we just gonna end it. We had a lot to say today.
Yeah, we did.
Go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section if you want to see us create some more videos. We're thinking about starting a podcast one of these days. So if y'all trying to see a podcast or something like that, let us know. If y'all want to see a duo podcast, we gonna go in on it.
Talk about life,
relationships, progression, growth, self-care, all of that. So, but yeah, man, go ahead and close it out for us, Damian.
Man, I'm gonna close it out with this right here, man. You know, of course, I'm big on motivational speaking. That's what I do. But when it comes down to life, man, understand the biggest thing I push is give yourself grace. You know, I understand we just starting the year. Everybody is on this big high of hitting the gym, of going after my goals, of doing X, Y, Z. Listen, if you ain't start your goals yet, it's cool. It's cool, man. Give yourself some grace. Understand that, listen, we're only, 19 days in, 18 days in? Yeah. And so we're only literally a couple weeks into the year, man. You still got the rest of the year. I'm not saying you got I'm not saying you got till half, June to start your goals, but you got a little bit of time, to start your goals, to start working on it, to get your mindset where you need to get it to. Because you can start your goals all day long. You can have this long list of things that you want to do, but it all starts with your mindset, man. And my motto to life, my motto to my brand is, change your mindset, change your life. And essentially what you believe and what you think about your life is what you're going to get. If you think of positivity, that's how your life is going to come. If you have a negative concept of who you are, that's what's going to come for your life. So I believe in you. I love you. Like always, let's get it.
And the man himself said, make sure you follow him on Instagram. Make sure you comment in the comment section. More videos coming from me soon, as y'all know. And I'll catch y'all next video. Peace.